Jungkook entered his home. As he passed through the hallway, the sound of his shoes clicking against the marble resonated. He had been on a 3 days business trip, his shoulders stiff due to all the work he did, but inside excited to meet his wife. A bouquet of roses in his hand. As he stepped inside the room, the serenity of their world was shattered. There, on the cold marble floor, lay Wine, her body motionless, bathed in a pool of blood. Panic coursed through him as he rushed to her side, his heart pounding. Jungkook, Wyan, he exclaimed, his voice laced with worry. He checked for her pulse, finding it weak but steady. Panic turned to anger, and he clenched his jaw. Gently, he cradled her in his arms and carried her to their car, his mind racing with anger and concern. He knew that every second counted. Vi needed help, and she needed it now. At the hospital, he rushed her through the emergency room doors, his heart pounding in his chest. The medical staff immediately took over, wheeling her away, leaving Jungkook standing in the hallway. He felt fear deep within, a fear he hadn't known in the ruthless world he lived in. He watched as they worked tirelessly to stabilize Wyan, her life hanging in the balance. He felt fear deep within, a fear he hadn't known in the ruthless world he lived in. He watched as they worked tirelessly to stabilize Wyan, her life hanging in the balance. When the doctor finally emerged, Jungkook's heart clenched. How is she? He demanded, his voice thick with worry. The doctor, a middle aged man with a calm expression, met Jungkook's gaze. Doctor, she's stable now. We treated her injuries and she's going to be alright. She's in the recovery room. Relief washed over Jungkook, leaving him momentarily breathless. He sank into a chair, his shoulders sagging. Jungkook, what even happened? Doctor, she was stabbed. It was a deep wound. It seemed fresh and the reason we could save her, even after she nearly lost a lot of blood. The anger rushed in him again, overtaking the previous worry. First, he already replayed everything he was going to do with the one who was behind it. Second, whoever it was, extremely foolish to even pull such move to start with. As he entered the recovery room, he found Vine laying still on the hospital bed, her face pale, her eyes closed. He found his calm before he appeared before her. Jungkook, Vine, he whispered, his voice filled with emotion. He took her hand gently. He also took a seat beside her and stroked her hair. He was seeing her after 3 days. Never in his dreams he thought it would be this sight. Her eyelashes fluttered and her hand squeezed his, a sign of her struggle to return to consciousness. Jungkook's heart soared as he saw her slowly waking. Wine. Jungkook, she murmured weakly, her eyes blinking open. Jungkook, I'm here, princess. I'm here with you. Wine, you took so long to come. It was a deep scar opening in his heart. He didn't know what happened and how it was possible in the premises of his property, but he knew one thing. He failed to give her the protection he promised her. Jungkook, I'm sorry, princess. I'm so sorry for everything you had to face. Whoever it was, I will. He shook his head. She never liked violence. He held her hand and kissed it. Jungkook, I'm here now. I'll take care of you. Wine, you won't go away anymore. He shook his head and kissed her several times. She could notice how this little event really scared him. Wine, and it was not your fault, Jungkook. I don't want you to blame yourself. Please. He nodded and continued to caress her hair. Wine, I got ready for you, but too bad. Someone else got to see it. She teased. Her body was in extreme pain, but it was nothing before his distress. It would kill her if he took the blame for this. She could accept anything, but seeing him pain due to her was something really unacceptable to her. Jungkook, that's not helping, princess. He cursed under his breath, and she chuckled. Pain waved through her body as she shut her eyes tightly and winced. Jungkook, hey, careful. He helped her lay straight, and once she felt better, he kissed her head. Their love was their anchor, and in that moment it was stronger than ever. He held her close, savoring the precious moments of their reunion. In the days that followed, Jungkook was a constant presence by his side, tirelessly caring for her. He was rough with the word, but when it came to his wife, he was gentle and sweet. He tended to her needs, finding her, feeding her, helping her sit up, and offering comfort. Jungkook also found out who was behind it and how their plan failed since he arrived home earlier than he was supposed to. There was no way anyone from outside could hurt his wife in the premises of his mansion. Someone from the inside betrayed him, and that exactly was the case. One of the guard who was sold by the hands of another empire pulled his move. They planned to take Wayan's body with them, but failed when he arrived home before the mission could fulfill. He took his revenge as he promised, not only from the empire who was behind it, but also from the guard who betrayed him. He made an example out of that rat to his other guards as to what happens when you betray him. One evening, as the sun set, casting their room in a warm, golden glow, Jungkook cradled her in his arms. Wine's eyes met his, and in them she saw not just the formidable mafia lord, but the man who had become her protector, her healer, and her love. Fine, Jungkook, she whispered, I love you more than words can express. He kissed her forehead and held her close. Jungkook, and I love you, Wine. You're my heart, my reason for everything. We'll get through this together.